heart has been broken. I've had to go through rejection, failure, but I've also had to work hard, breed, develop myself, and I'm still developing myself. So the pictures that you see on social media and online, they're all nice and good, but there is hard work behind it. So this is really about, if you are in that position where you're thinking, listen, Angeli, I want to level up. I want to level up my life quite quickly, just a minute, just to push you to where you're going to. This video is my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel at all, or this is your first time here, click on the subscribe button and watch. I am here to have conversations and talks that can and should lead to actions, and I'm happy to have you here. What I want to talk about today is I want to try and see how we can get more young girls and young women to level up quite quickly, even if you're in your teens or you're in your 20s or even in your 30s. I suppose this can be applicable to any woman, but I'm strictly addressing the 20s and the 30s, right? Because I know that this year is quite critical. Another reason why I want to talk about it is because you need to also know that people don't just drop from heaven. A lot of things you see on social media are not necessarily made the way they are. They're not made to finish. Like, it's not a total product. There are things that happen behind the scenes. People go through different issues. For example, I am not the way I am today. There's been some building before I got here, and there's going to be more building before I get to where I'm going to. I've had to suffer heartbreaks. I've been hurt. My heart has been broken. I've had to go through rejection, failure, but I've also had to work hard, breed, develop myself, and I'm still developing myself. So the pictures that you see on social media and online, they're all nice and good, but there is hard work behind it. So this is really about, if you are in that position where you're thinking, listen, Angeli, I want to level up. I want to level up my life quite quickly, just a minute, just to push you to where you're going to. This video is for you. Now let's start with the most critical thing. Honestly, for me, the most critical thing that has helped me before now, and I know where I'm going to, is being able to connect to a true source. It's very important, because for me, I find that even with everything that I'm going through or that I've gone through, connecting to a true source is quite important. I'm a Christian, so I'll speak from a Christian point of view. It's amazing to grow up with the religion I grew up with, but that's not how everything spans out later on in real life. Especially when you've been sent off to another country and you have to grow and take decisions by yourself. You have to be able to connect to a true source. Find a true source by yourself and connect to that true source. It will help you level up quite quickly in your 20s and in your 30s. Connecting to that true source and finding that true source for yourself, it is very, very important. It also, for me, ties quite nicely into identity, because as a growing young girl and a young woman, the different things that will be put in front of you, different type of identities will be pushed in front of you. Do your best to recognize who you are and keep your identity intact. Now, if you say to me that I have lost my identity, do not fret. It happens to everyone. It's happened to me as well. So give yourself the opportunity to find your identity back. But your identity helps you with your values, it helps you with your boundaries, helps you with what you're gonna take or what you cannot take. But you are growing and you're developing. So finding out your identity is very important, and keep that at the back of your mind so you can show up 100% of the time yourself. Another thing I find that's helped me and that would help you as you level up in your 20s and your 30s, is that you can continue to be a lifelong student. You be a lifelong learning student. There's always something to learn. But don't get me wrong, right? Don't go and start giving yourself putting yourself in places that there's nothing for you to learn or take away from. Give yourself an opportunity to grow and develop and learn. So be a lifelong student. You can learn from anything. Anything can teach you. And on your way to your journey, there are things that can help you, navigate better. I will tie this quite nicely into reading. I can't talk about reading and researching enough. Listen, it's a blessing to have an education. It's a privilege to have an education. So if you are in school and you're watching this, do not take it for granted. There's a place for your education. But I'm talking about you reading outside, reading other other texts, reading other things, reading books, developing yourself, growing your mind, expanding your mind. My dear young woman, intelligence is the sexiest thing that you can have. Intelligence is the sexiest thing that you can give yourself. Your brain is the most intelligent, sexiest thing in your body, because intelligence will stay in the room when you've left. You know, you come in and you have a lovely fragrance, and the fragrance remains. Let that be your intelligence, let that be you, right? So try as much as possible to develop yourself in reading, in research, and expanding your mind. This year, I must confess, my reading has kind of has changed quite a little bit. And interestingly, I'm reading a book by Jay Shetty. I actually have it here. Jay Shetty wrote a book about Think Like a Monk. Let me just show you what the book. Yeah, I'm almost done, and it's expanding my mind. I'm not, you're gonna be like, Annalie, think like a monk. Yes, think like a monk. It will amaze you what these monks think like. You know, what they regard as important and what they disregard. You know, so I'm reading this book right now, and it's really helping a lot with my journey. And I mean, if you want to read it, please go ahead, join the reading party. I don't mind. But read something that expands your mind. Read literature, read autobiographies, read stories, read fiction. Just read and expand your mind. You know, read news, watch the news. I love to watch news. Yes, can you imagine? Even in London, I still tune in to watch Nigerian news. It's quite important. I watch news. Educate yourself, keep yourself educated all the time. Then I would also want you to please, in your 20s and 30s, as you level up, please consider your circle of influence. It's quite important. A lot of people are blessed to have great friends, great support system when they're growing up, and they have them for a long time, you know. And some people are not, you know, have to find friends and change friends as they go along. But I mean, it doesn't matter where you are. Just know that circle of influence is very, very important. Find a good circle of influence for you and let them help you grow. People that you can be real with, people whose opinions matter to you, people who honestly love you, people who are honestly going to be there for you, to support you, you know. And you know, even it's funny because even as I keep growing, I keep understanding the importance of circle of influence and support system. They are the best that you can have. And I love the way Kelly Rowland called it Chico system. I love that Chico system. I think it's from ecosystem, obviously, but Chico system of friends who are real, who are original, who are authentic, who help you always show up as yourself 100%, 100% all the time. And shout out to all my Chico systems out there. You know yourself. So find yourself a good circle of influence, please. And if the circle of influence is not working for you, do not apologize, but leave that circle of influence and find the one that would work for you. But don't burn bridges. You know, it's very important for us not to make enemies, in my opinion. But try and make sure that your Chico system are systems that, you know, are able to support you and are there for you for the long haul. And I would say that leveling up in your 20s and in your 30s as a growing young woman, you need to consider your health. See, you and I keep evolving. We keep evolving every time. Our minds keep changing, our bodies change, situations keep changing. So a lot of things you need to consider about your health. It's not just your physical looks, not just, you know, how you look externally. All that is important, because I must confess I do all the spa and facial and massage and all of that, but internally it's important as well. So my emotional health, my spiritual health, my mental health, therapy and all of that is quite important. I hope that we'll get to a place as a country and as a nation where we normalize therapy and mental health, because you don't need to be in a fix or in a rut to seek counsel from a certified therapist or mental health specialist. Please prioritize your mental health, prioritize your emotional health, prioritize your spirituality, prioritize your health, because as young women, as girls, your body will keep changing, your mindset will keep changing about things. You need to give yourself permission to take care of yourself. There's a difference between being selfish and self-care. You actually have to look after yourself to be able to look after others. All right, so these are the things I want to share with you as you level up. And I want to emphasize that please connect to a true source. When you're crying at night and the mascara is running down your eyes, the first person that you probably want to talk to is the Holy Spirit. God has a great sense of humor. The Holy Spirit will be there for you, to minister to you, that you can talk to, and that's the person that can really, really help you heal from inside. So please, whatever you do, whichever religion you are, just be authentic and connect to the true source, because that would be the one to help you and works all the time. All right, so level up in your 20s and 30s. And if this video is also for you, I'm happy for you to leave me a comment. Make sure you subscribe and share my videos. Look after yourself until I see you in my next video. Bye bye.